Actually, just right now. So funny.
Picked up a couple of peaches.
Picked up some business.
Oh, right. Okay.
Close a couple deals on the way. So this girl, she didn't have a table throw or anything, and I was like,
Well,
yep. I was like, give me your card right now. I'll send you some pictures and quotes and stuff. She was like, yep, perfect. I need it. So it's like I need a banner too.
oh shit!
Like, perfect.
Like we need our table things.
She said when I was at the Garlic Festival, some dude stole it. He told me to run, and I was like, what? I'm like, who would do that? She's like, he's about like 6'2", 6'3". Always got his muscles out. I'm like, oh,
Stanley.
I was like, yep. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh, that was a good one.
Nailed it.
Has his muscles out. Stanley.
She said that scent of watermelon, peaches, and chicken grease. I'm like, yeah, that's our dude.
He's gonna hear this and he's gonna start busting up. He's like, these mother.
He said straight, Stanley. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that has his muscles out, man. I'm trying to compete with Stanley, man.
Done deal.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Oh my god, brother. But so yeah, dude. Like I wanted to basically. This might. Do you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay, cool, good. I heard like a popping sound.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I wanted to ask. Welcome to the show. First off, dude, welcome to the show, Joe Cole. Joe Cole is in the house.
Thank you for your patience in getting this done. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. This is exciting for me. So this is like, I'll list this just part of my own personal just rebranding, juvenation moment of just getting through it. So you're helping me as much as you think I'm helping you. You're doing it wonders for me, man. So this is awesome. So I love it.
Awesome, brother.
Let's get it done. Talk to me.
Yeah, let's get it done.
I talk to you.
Yeah, so basically my show's about people that are trying to find success in their own business and trying to pave their own way. And I thought about you. I was like, man, Joe Cole, he has his own business. He's a hustler. I have to get him on the show, man, to hear his story. So what exactly do you do? Tell us your story.
Oh, man. My story is actually very funny. Like anytime when anyone asks me the story, it literally just takes me back. I started in the trade show business as someone attending shows, and I was going to NAB. I was doing the National Association of Broadcasting, which is actually one of the biggest shows. I think it was probably top 5, top 10 then. I don't know where it is now, but it probably still the same. But it's everything about broadcasting, television, equipment, and everything.
Right.
So I worked for a music library company, and that's what they did. And I set up their 20 booth. It started at the 10 by 10, then a 20 by 20. And I was basically going to Vegas, setting it up, going back to Vegas, tearing it down. Vegas twice in 10 days. As you can imagine, it's just craziness in itself. So,
wow.
So that was just in itself, just setting up and tearing down. And then as I was researching for equipment and trying to buy stuff, I found a company in Santa Monica. So I was just like, this is perfect. These guys are right near, close by. I didn't have to order from the East Coast or anything like that. So it worked out perfect. And then fast forward to, I happened to meet the owner of this company on a football Sunday in Santa Monica at Yankee Doodles when it was open way back in the day.
Wow, that's back in the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was 2007. So it was 2007 to be exact.
Right.
And I met him football season. So I probably met him football season 2006. So it was probably late 2006.
Okay.
And then we were running into each other, and then we started talking, and then, two guys talking, like, what do you do? And I was like, I go, I do this, and I handle trade show stuff, and, whatever, trying to make myself sound interesting. And dude, he's like, I have a trade show company. If you ever need anything, let me know. So I was like, perfect, give me your card. He gave me his card, and then I'm like, dude, this is where I order my stuff.
Right.
Right. Like, no way. I just ordered a 20 by 20 carpet from you just 3 weeks ago. Right. He's like, nah. I was like, I promise you, I just ordered it. And so he looked me up, and because he's just that kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like if you meet Matt, he's just like that kind of guy. He's like in it, he's in it. He looked me up and everything, and then it was just like kind of like I was our own chemistry. You know what I mean? We just like met on that, and then we just became best friends. And just more and more we hung out socially. You know, I was only doing logistics. You know, I did nothing sales related at all. I was doing logistics. And every time we hung out, he's like, man, you should be a salesman. He goes, I don't know who you're working for, but, you know, they need to have you in sales. You'd be a great salesperson. And I was like, nah, I don't like sales. I don't like it. You know what I mean? I was like, I always feel like I'm the guy in the, you know, the car lot with the lapel, you know what I mean? Selling lemons, you know what I mean? And it's not like you like that, but it's just that, you know, that you don't want to sell somebody on something, you know what I mean?
That feeling, that feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
The cheesy guy tried to sell you something.
Right. And the funny thing is, my dad was a salesman. My dad, he had a clothing store.
Oh, nice.
Clothing store for like 20 years or so. So like I had that in me, I just wasn't using it. You know what I mean? Like it was just in me, just watching my dad deal with people. I knew how to work with people and talk with people and stuff like that, but I wasn't using it. And so Matt, he just basically kind of got that out of me.
Were you selling at the store? Were you actually?
I was a kid. At that time, I was just a kid. You know what I mean? I was just a kid. You know what I mean? I just saw my dad in action. You know what I mean? Just to see him, people he knew. You know what I mean? When you're a salesperson, it's always networking. You know what I mean? You always are networking. If you're a good salesperson, even if whatever is not suited for you at that point in time, you may know someone that will be suited for you, or eventually it will become. But you need to keep that network going to build that stuff up. You know what I mean? There's like a network of people that you know, and then as well as just your own personal network of the things you do in your industry. You have both of those, everything, always. You know what I mean? It's just like just as much as you know everything about organic vegetables and things like that, you have a separate network of things like that. And the funny thing, when those things blend together, you're like, holy crap, I never saw that happen. You know what I mean? But that's how a salesman is. You know, you never miss an opportunity to talk to somebody to find out what they do. And so that's kind of how it started with us. But it was just literally, it was just more or less, it was just two guys that hung out on Saturdays just at bars having drinks. You know, pretty much. That was pretty much it. He was like, you should be a salesperson, dude. You're really good. And so that was kind of how it started. And then he was kind of redoing his business, kind of revamping it up. And he just had like let go of like 5 people. And he was like, I need to reorganize, restart, refresh, everything. Right. And so I was like, all right. And then he was just like, he made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. Like literally, like it was like an NBA sit down. And like he was like, meet me at this restaurant.
You're being drafted, brother. You're
literally. Yeah, literally. It was just
first round pick.
First round pick. It was like I walked in a dark room with like a piece of paper on the table and a pen. You know what I mean? Like, this is how much I'm going to pay you. This is this. I mean, it was easy for him because he knew me. You know what I mean? We had already, you know, so he knew about me. So he was like, already like, dude, I know what you needed. So it's perfect. And it was what I needed. It was exactly what I needed.
Nice.
And then, you know, we started working together, and I started going through my hurdles of just becoming a salesperson, selling trade show equipment, which I literally I love that. You know what I mean? That it's visually, trade show stuff is just visually pleasing. Any show that you go to or I go to, you see something, you're just like, oh man, that's smart, that's cool, that's funny, or whatever. You know what I mean?
That needs work.
Or that needs work.
Right.
And it's a memory.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing about trade shows, is what you want to do. It's the memory of what you saw. Because if you're a trade show person that goes to a lot of events like yourself, you know what I mean? And I deal with a lot of events, you know what I mean? Or deal with people who go to a lot of events.
Right.
I know what the trade show person in their mind is thinking when they go to a trade show. One, they're like, I have maybe 4 or 5 people that I need to see. Okay. But then everything else is just a blur because I have to be here and I have to shake hands, kiss babies, and the whole shebang.
Right.
So
right.
You have to make sure that your audience, for when you go to your event, is going to remember something about your booth. And if it's not something extremely memorable about the graphic, at least it's the contact information on the booth. Because most people, when they go to a trade show, they don't like to talk to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because you know everybody's trying to talk to you. So it's just like, you know, everyone's trying to talk to you like, oh, you I got to better this, I got to better that, I got to better, and justifiably as they should, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean. You may see something that you like or whatever you want to find that's interesting about it. And I always tell my clients, I'm like, if you don't have either any type of contact, any type of company name, any type of anything, website, email address, somewhere big on that booth, you're missing out, because that guy is not going to want to come over and get stuck in your booth. He's like, if I go over there, I'm going to get stuck in the booth talking to this guy, and I really want just 5 minutes to get the information or grab a pamphlet or something like that. So I always try to encourage my clients, as much as you want your booth to be visually pleasing, you know what I mean, and attractive and sexy and fun and all those things people want about a booth, you also want it informative for the person who does not come to the booth. There's too many smart people who do that. Walk around shows and they don't stop at booths. They stand from afar. That's why we have all these cell phones, and they're like that's it.
Yeah.
I'll look at that when I get back to the hotel room. You know what I mean? So, and that's where we all are now. No one's writing anything down really. Anyways.
True.
Everyone's taking pictures.
Yeah.
Taking pictures. So, you know what I mean? And I tell my clients that too when I sell. I go, when you're at a show, you go to your show, and if they're thinking about buying their next booth or whatever, I say, hey, if you see something that you like, take a picture of it. Send it to me. Let me know if I have it or what we can do or why this is working, why it won't work for you, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? We're in a visual culture. How many times we like it or not like it, but that's where we are. That's why trade shows are really more important. But more important than that, it's the connection. If they have no way to connect with you in no shape or form, from informing them, calling you, emailing you, or whatever, then you've lost already immediately. So, you know what I mean? It's just like, as much as we have social media, which is kind of our handshake nowadays, I guess.
Right.
The handshake, you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, I'll get your Facebook, Instagram, and we'll connect. And that's our handshake from now on. You know what I mean?
True.
You post something, I like it. You post something, I like it. That tells that we're alive in the world of whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
At a trade show, you have an opportunity. And it's more of an opportunity, and it's also less. So you got to make sure when your booth is made, the graphics are hot, it's something informative about your company, and some type of contact information is there. I always encourage my clients anytime, as you know, to like, if I see something, I'm like, hey, you sure you don't want to change this, just in case? And you guys know, people know their shows more than anything. So whatever works for you, I may not work, but I always want to make sure that I give you that. You know,
right.
When I'm producing, I'm not just like taking your graphic and looking at it and being like printing it. Because then that would suck at the end of the day. Like, well, what am I doing? I'm not doing you a disservice.
Right. And how long have you been doing this, dude? How many years now?
I started, I would say 11 years now.
Wow. Okay.
I started direct to show 2012 officially, I guess.
So, but you worked for somebody before.
I worked for somebody since 2007, April 2007. And then
5 years later, you started your own business?
Started my own.
Okay.
And then started my own.
You learned everything from working for you.
You know what? I did. I learned a lot about the salesman aspect, but then when you run your own, you got to learn the business aspect.
Right. True.
You know what I mean?
True.
And that's where my baptism by fire happened. You know what I mean? Learning the business aspect of it, because people always ask me, like, how did you start? When do you start? What do I need to start? What do I do? And I tell them my main number one thing I say to people all the time. I was like, if you want to start a business, the number one thing you need is clients. That's all you need.
Sure.
You don't need an office. You know what I mean? You don't need, nowadays you need a car. You need a laptop.
Yeah.
And just basically and know how to talk to people.
Right.
Just to be able to go over to somebody and say, hey, this is what I do, or know where your clients are. If you've been working in this industry or whatever industry you're starting, you have that kind of information. You get one client that you have will refer you to someone else.
Right.
I've not gone through this business without any referrals. That's
cool. That's awesome.
That's the easiest thing that you can have as a person. If you have one, you can get two. And if you have 2, 4, 8, it happens like that. And it seems unreasonable, sometimes when you don't have it, because as an entrepreneur, we go through those dips and lows of like, oh, why isn't my phone ringing? No one loves me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No one loves me.
No one loves me. You know what I mean? You go iron your shirt a little bit more. You're like, man, I need some new shoes. I don't know. Whatever. What's going on? But you have that, but that's going to happen. That's a part of it. You know what I mean? That's like something I read. It's like those are the things that are part of it. If you're not having those things, sometimes it means that you're not doing anything. You know
Exactly. You need them. It's all part of the business. It really is.
Yeah, it's all part of the business of going through the highs and lows of having a business. If you don't have, if you're someone say, oh, I have a bunch of highs, you're like, the lows will come no matter what. You know what I mean? If you have too many lows, then either it's just you have to kind of look at what's going on, or maybe you're just not pushing it just hard enough. And sometimes that can be happening. Sometimes you just need to push a little bit harder. Step outside your comfort zone. I'm always as loud as I can be about certain things. I also get in my own moments where my comfort zone, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should go over there, or I should walk in there and have that moment where I'm like, hey man, like this is what I do. Da 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 da. I mean, it happens. When I started, I was really skeptical. I was just like, you know, you think of your own personal. I'm like, man, it's like, is anybody going to want to buy from a black man in the trade show industry? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know any black owners in the trade show industry. You start to think of, but those are all things that's all internal. You know what I mean? When I made my first call, my first client, the guy was like, and it was a client like I knew, and I was like, hey, I'm not with them anymore. Matt sold the company to another company. I know you said you had a big project, and da da da. And the guy was literally like, he's like, I want this. Can you do that? I was like, no problem. He's like, great. Here's $10,000. Get started. And it was just like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know.
My first client. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And that's how the world should work in general. Like, I have something that you need. And, you know, I can.
And you do it. Yes. Deal's done.
Deal's done.
Happen.
That's it. And that's just literally how it is. So that's why I say the first thing that you need is clients. You don't need anything else. If you get your first client, whatever it is, even if the client, if it's free, whatever, that person will tell someone about what you do.
Right.
Even, you know what I mean? Even if you're a graphic designer and you do something for a friend,
right,
and you do it for free, someone's going to be like, who did that for you? Perfect. Your next client is that person. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Right. So, you know? Dude, so what would you clarify for the listeners? Exactly what is it that you do? You're a event supplier?
I would say I put on my email, it says exhibit producer. I'm an exhibit producer. So for the trade show industry, I produce exhibits, trade show displays, graphics, banners. So whatever you need graphic-wise for your trade show booth, I produce it.
Nice. So, I like that. Yeah. And now you've been doing this for freaking 7 years now.
Yeah.
Wow. So would you say that majority of your clients come from referrals? Do they come from social media? How do you get majority of your clients?
I have a backlash of clients that I have from my old business that have come.
Okay.
Now it's just, I think now it's a lot of referrals. Now it's been a lot of referrals. Like
that's interesting because how often do you actually go to some of these shows and actually try to acquire more clients? Like you said, you were just walking through a farmer's market today. And
but it's harder now. It's harder now to do that.
Why is that?
Because the trade show booth is not like, 30 years ago when, the internet was not that popular. Well, maybe not even 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, maybe, I don't know. But it wasn't that popular to be making purchases of like $1,500 online. Now you could buy something for $1,500 online, not even blink while you're eating a sandwich. You're like, yep, there it is, done at all. So the trade show booth was this thing. Like, there's no more trade show companies with, like, most trade show companies don't even have a showroom anymore. You know what I mean? Because you can just go online. You just look at it. That's the thing. That's the thing right there. Right there.
So would you say that the internet has helped you or hurt you in some aspects?
Helped.
It helped. Okay, it helped.
It definitely helped.
Why is that?
Because it speeds things along.
Okay.
Like, instead of you having to come to the showroom and do it, you as a client, you get because your business is changing too. It's not just my business changing. Your business is changing too. When, a lot of clients had to make maybe go out and just call 100 people or go see 100 people.
Right.
Maybe now they only see 50. Maybe they only see 40. You know what I mean? Because everyone's just emailing and sending pictures of whatever they need. And for our business, that's pretty much it. Is that what it's going to look like on the trade show floor? Yes. Is it going to be that color? Yes. I don't have to. Nope. You don't. Setting up the trade show booth and with graphics and the way things are, you can literally do a 3D setup right on the computer, and it shows it. You know what I mean? Everything, how it sets up forms and everything right there on the computer. So it helps your business tremendously, and it makes the client more informed, and it saves them time on the decision making. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so for the salesperson, the key is you have to stay on top of the client. Because as we know, with internet, everything is coming at them 5 times a minute. So, if you type something, trade show booth for whatever, you've opened up your Facebook page and there's like 15 trade show companies on site. You're like, how does that know? How do they know I'm looking for shoes? You know what I mean? Right. So you have to stay on top of your client because now this industry is big. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very easy industry to start, overall, as far as an entrepreneur, which is great. You know what I mean? So you have to stay on top of your client.
And how do you compete with some of the big boys out there that are doing the same thing? Because it seems like today, if you're running your type of business, you can pay Google AdWords. You can try to pay to get your company listed to the very top. How do you compete with some of these big names?
It all applies. I mean, it's all going to be affected by what's on your budget. But the thing that you still have to do, I find in my business, is just try to stay connected with the client as much as you can, no matter what. Cool. If you have an email address, email the guy every once in a while, however you do it. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to be able to do everything because we're just in that place that he's going to see. If he's looking up a trade show booth, he's going to see 15 different companies. Now, what he's going to remember is me and my service and how I provided it.
So service is key.
Service is key, and our connection. You know what I mean? How it worked. So then, everybody wants a guy, right? That's my trade show guy. That's my fruit guy. Whatever.
Why's it got to be a guy? Can it be a woman too?
Absolutely.
I just had to throw that in there. I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, I know. Good. I'm glad you did.
All the ladies watching.
Yeah, but it's what we do. It's like if my girl, my guy, whatever.
It's true. Everyone wants that person, that guy, that gal. Everybody
want to have that person.
That's a good point. I mean?
Girls say guys too. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's my trade show guy right there.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So everybody has that. You know what I mean? So when you want to be able to connect with the person on that level, you have to stay in touch with them on that level. Phone calls too, even though people don't like to answer the phone like they used to. You know what I mean?
True.
Texting, you know what I mean? I never thought I would be doing deals over text. You know what I mean? But clients do deals over text anymore. You know what I mean? Just once in a while, you get somebody who will just be like, here's my credit card information. They'll text it right to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just the world we are right now.
It is.
It's
crazy. I never thought 20 years ago people would be texting credit card information.
Taking pictures of it? Yeah, I'll just take a picture of the card.
That's crazy.
I'll just take a picture and send it to you.
Never thought that would happen. Never. But like you said, that's the world we live in today.
It's the world we live in. It's like I said, 30, 40 years ago, no one would have ever bought a car. I mean, people buy cars on the internet.
Did you hear about that place in Garden Grove? Mm-mm. Garden Grove off the 22, you can actually go there and you put your information, you push a button, the car comes down. It's like a vending machine.
I saw that. I just drove past that place.
Right. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's a vending machine for cars.
And it's good. I feel like it's good and bad in all kinds of ways too, because I think we still get lost in the connection of where two people need to talk. I feel for the trade show industry ourselves, it should be even bigger. The trade show business should be even more, because you still need to be able to have that thing that I feel like if I meet you, you're going to want to buy from me even more. You know what I mean?
Right. It seems like social media is supposed to bring us together, but in certain aspects it kind of brings us apart a little bit.
It's great for speed.
Right.
Speed. It's perfect.
But sometimes in certain businesses, we have lost that human interaction.
Yep. we still, and it's funny how you can literally type an email to someone and you can converse on email.
Right.
But for some reason, somehow, either you're not getting it or they're not getting it. And then what do? You pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. Yeah.
And then for some reason, the voice contact, I got your email. So are you saying that did you hash it out?
Right.
And then,
it's interesting because an email, it can be misinterpreted. A text can be misinterpreted. Right. But that conversation is always clear.
Always clear. And you explaining it in email sometimes can be longer, and people just get lost in. Oh my God, I don't know what this guy. What the fuck?
What the fuck's he writing me 3 paragraphs?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God! That's the most annoying thing, dude.
Yeah. Call him on the phone right now.
I've gotten 5 paragraphs from an employee asking one question.
Exactly.
Fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
What are you doing? It's crazy.
Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. Exactly. Just call me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I literally, after this interview, I have a client, literally, he was talking to me on the phone, and he was like, hey, I'm at the office right now. I want to show you something. We'll FaceTime it. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, I'll send you the measurements. I was like, okay. He's like, I'll text it to you. You know what? Let's just FaceTime it. Okay.
I'll show it to you.
Right. I'll show it to you.
You don't need the measurements or anything. I'll just show it to you.
So as fast as we think we're doing stuff, which is great, we still need that interaction still needs to happen. And I think people will buy more and you will hold on to your clients more, overall to do that. And it makes it nice. You know what I mean? It makes it completely nice. I had a client that I did a deal with at the beginning of the year, and I'm having an even bigger deal with her later on this year, at the end of this year.
Cool.
And it was like everything, how I met her was amazing because I on LinkedIn. I emailed her on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Didn't know her from no one, anything. I just was like, one day I was just like, I'm just going to do a nice just little offer on LinkedIn to people on LinkedIn. This was amazing for me to do it. And it was like, did this little offer on LinkedIn and just started emailing people. And then boom, she hit me back. And we did a couple things together for a company that she did. She loved it. Never met this lady, nothing.
Wow.
Gave me like 15 grand.
Wow.
Great.
Wow. That's awesome.
And then it was just like, then she disappeared. And then she called me out of there and she goes, nope. She goes, you're my guy.
Yeah.
I'm taking you with me. So she went to Kendall Brands, which is a huge cosmetic company. And they do for Fenty, Marc Jacobs and stuff like that. And you've seen some of the pictures I sent you. Right. And so she was like, this is where I am now, and you're going to do all of this stuff for them, and you're my guy, no matter what. And she started to spread me around from her office. I did some stuff for their Brazil office.
Nice.
It was just perfect. But it was like emailing, but once we talked on the phone, it made things more real. You know what I mean? Like we email back and forth, and emails are great for details sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the ones and twos. But like you said, one question in a paragraph isn't read. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You like, it's just like you type it, you be like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? That looks like it's scarlet. You know what I mean? Look, man, red. This is what we need. Straight red, So
yeah. Dude,
where we are,
What's crazy is that based on what you've told me is that you were working for somebody in the trade show business for many, many years, and you just met some guy, he was your buddy, you were drinking, and that relationship flourished to the point where he said, hey man, I want to hire you.
That's exactly what happened.
Crazy. This is exactly about you'd be great in sales. You didn't even want to be in sales. You're like, nah, it's not for me. I work logistics. I don't want to have anything to do with it. You'll be great in sales. This is how much I'll pay you. You say yes, and suddenly you're making money. You're knowing everything about the business, and then suddenly you become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You always wanted to be an entrepreneur, or did that kind of just happen with this business?
What happened with the entrepreneur as far as me starting businesses was, which I think with everyone is that it may be sometimes with some people, like you think you could do it better. And with entrepreneurs, we always have that.
Bro, did you think that I can do it better?
I felt like I could have made more money.
Okay.
That's what it was. It was, for me, it was about making more money.
Okay.
I sold the company to someone else.
Right.
I started making less money.
Right.
And that was not happening. So I was like, I need to make more money. You know what I mean? So when you think like that, then it's not so much sometimes better. And that's why I say with entrepreneurs, it's not, they always tell entrepreneurs, don't try to reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? They say that even in the movie business. They say,
I've heard that so many times.
Trying to ride outside the box. Don't ride outside the box.
Yeah.
Stay in the box.
Stay in your box. Stay in the box.
You know what I mean? Stay in the box. The box works. The box works millions.
Right.
So it wasn't about me trying to jump outside the box, make this amazing, crazy trade show business. I didn't mind necessarily staying in the box, but now it was just like, now it's my box. It's my box. I'm in it now. Now I own my own business. I'm in charge of my own future, the downs and lows that comes with it too, like that. So you have to think like that. It's not so much about better. It's just about making sure that your box is perfect for whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Because it's, it'll change as every business does, and you're going to change with the client, with the culture, with what happens. Like we've talked about literally in this podcast about how people didn't buy like this. Now they buy like that. Your business is going to form to your client. You know what I mean? If your client buys like that, then they'll buy like that. If you sell like that, then guess what? Your client's going to start to buy like that. You know what I mean? So it just the form and culture changes sometimes will just happen naturally, organically,
right,
without you doing anything. And sometimes that's a blessing. Let that happen. Let that part happen.
That was fucking deep what you just said. You said, instead of working for someone that has their own box, I'm gonna start my own box. Your own business. That was fucking deep, dude. I've never heard that quote.
Right.
That said in that certain way. That was pretty deep, dude.
Yeah. Well, I've never said it.
There we go. For the books.
There we go.
You just went with the flow and it came out. Boom.
Make your own box, man.
Make your own box.
Make your own box. That's it. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah. Pave your own way.
Make your own way. Exactly.
So, dude, what kind of advice do you give people that are trying to maybe start their own business, maybe get in the same business you're in, or a different type of business? I mean, what kind of advice can you give them?
I would say the best thing is to stick to the thing that you're good at.
Okay.
One, and then hire people for the stuff that you need done that you can't do. Because we are in a very, as we just stated earlier, about going to a car dealership, putting some stuff in, and the car comes spinning down, and the whole thing, which takes the salesperson out of it. Whatever. All that's whatever. That's great, fine. If you're just buying a blanket car, that works perfectly for you. You know what I mean? But in other words, when you're starting your own business, you're like, I'm a baker, or I sell trade show booths. Well, I'm good at selling trade show booths, but you also need an accountant. You need a guy who does graphic design. You know what I mean? You need somebody who knows a little bit about marketing. A little bit more than what you know. Everybody needs to know a little bit more than you know. Because you need to hire these people because they need to help you with your business. That's when you become a smart business owner, and just knowing when to do that. You know what I mean? And knowing when to do that, how to do that, things like that. So I always recommend that to people, and I guess that's also an option of delegating as well. So it's like when you start your own business, if you know how to do what your business is, great. Now find the pieces outside of the things that you don't know how to do. If you don't know how to make a website for your business, yes, there's many companies out there that say you can do it yourself. Do you want to? I mean, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, because usually what ends up happening, you're up at till midnight, like trying to figure out, is this the right pixel? Oh my God. And then
you're doing everything.
Knows how to do it. And they're like, move, just let me do it. You know what I mean? So that part is the most thing I would say. Yes, the culture is set up for you to be able to do stuff yourself, but a lot of times you just don't. If you don't want to, try to make sure you market your profits and dollars to be like, okay, look, I'm going to set aside some money to have somebody do this for me. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do it. And usually if you're spending time trying to wreck your brain how to do it, it's a waste of time. I've been through that and I've experienced it. And I've had to learn the lesson. You know what I mean? So just like those are, and you'll learn those lessons all along. You're like, oh, you know what? I don't ever want to be in that position again, so I'm going to hire somebody to do that. It may cost you a little bit now, but in the long run, you always have that person to do it. You know what I mean? So, and it's ebb and flows of what that is, but definitely stick to what you're good at, and then hire people for the stuff you don't know how to do. It makes it so much better.
So, what do you say to people that, like yourself, at one point in your life, hated sales, did not like it at all, but they want to be able to sell their business or be able to sell a product or a service? What do you say to them? Some of those shy people in the world that really don't have the ability to sell, but they want to sell a product.
I would say the thing that we don't realize that we're doing is we're selling. We sell as soon as we walk out the door. We don't realize it. People look at you, you're already selling yourself. Whoever you are, they're looking at that. Even if you say, I don't sell anything, but I work on computers. What kind of computer do you like? I like Apple. You're already selling the Apple product to somebody already. You know what I mean? Just based on your reference of the product. You know what I mean? So selling is an automatic thing. Now, when you have to actually talk to someone to buy it from you, there is that issue of what it is, whatever. But the thing of it is, my boss used to say to me, and what helped me a lot, especially in sales, is the fact that he goes, look, it's not that you're not just selling someone a trade show booth that doesn't need it. You know what I mean? You know, someone's calling you or someone's on your website and they need a trade show booth. They need a banner stand. They need a tent. They need a table throw. Okay? Based off of that, you need to sell them the best thing for them.
Right.
Or if it's not the best thing sell them exactly the thing that they want, which is always the most easiest. I want the blue one. Perfect. Here, let me get you the order form. That's the fastest way. Perfect. You know what I mean? Give that person exactly what they want. You know what I mean? And so when you're selling, usually the selling comes in when someone says no. And the no is usually not because they don't want it. They want to either be told as far as why they should either get it from you and things like that, because they still need it. You know, overall, that's usually when the selling starts, when the first no happens. And that's usually when it happens. You know what I mean? So you have to remember that when you're in sales. So you're selling yourself, even if you shy away from sales, everybody sells themselves. No matter what, you're always a salesperson. No matter what. In life, just on your own strength of just being the person you are. You meet two people, you're selling yourself on this guy, why I should be friends with you. You're right selling yourself.
That's a good point. You sold yourself to me when you were trying to be friends with me, and I said, man, I like this guy. I want to be friends.
I didn't like you.
Sold.
Trying not to sell myself.
Sold.
Now I'm stuck with you. Like, this is the best and worst deal ever. Goodness. I was like, man. Every time I turn around, this guy is here.
But you're right. You're right. It's just everyone sells themselves, whether they go out to a club, whether they go out to a social function, friend's house. Everyone is selling.
Sell something in life.
Everything sells. Everything is sales. It really is.
Yeah. And now it's like you said, it's just so funny because that's all me and Matt did when we started hanging out, because we would just go in the bars, talking to girls. That was it. And
you were selling.
Yeah. And you were good. And I wasn't making the correlation to those things. You know what I mean? I was just trying to have fun and have a great time or whatever. And so, he was just like, man, no. It's like, I see you with people. You're really good, man. You would be a really good salesperson. Yeah. And like I said, I enjoy it. You know what I mean? I enjoy meeting people, especially in trade shows, like hearing what people do, what they do, why they do it, what shows they go to.
Right.
You know what I mean? What they're not using as far as graphics, what they need. All that is just amazing, because in the trade show industry, there's literally a show for everything. Like, that was the most fascinating thing for me when I joined it, is there's a show for everything you have in your house, everything you have in your car, and they have a show for air.
Dude, I went to a CBD show, man. It was like, oh my God, these people spend a lot of money in their event equipment.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It was nice. was nice.
Yeah, and it's not just the booth. I've sold wood flooring.
Yeah.
So, I've sold everything you could think of in regards to anything with a trade show, both indoor, outdoor, and things like that, because it's just the industry has changed. Because now some people don't even have trade show booths. They just make these rooms so people can just come in and lounge and just talk and everything like that. So it's just, it's a wide range of stuff that you can provide for it, and it's awesome.
Dude, what do you think attributes to your success in your own business?
I would say for me personally, where I succeed is just basically the quickness and delivery of the service, and the likeness of myself. That's where you can't beat me on anything. You know what I mean? If I'm in a room and talk to someone, I'm 99.9% of the time going to get the sale, like overall. You know what I mean? There's a very rare percentage of it. Once I talk to someone on the phone, I have a very rare closing window where, if I have a list of 10 clients on there, you know what I mean, or on there, I'm going to close at least, 85% of everything that's on there to 95% on that list. You know what I mean? At some point, it's all going to go down overall. You know what I mean? One or two may just drop off. Maybe either they didn't go to the show or whatever, but you always have that one itchy client or that one deal that just seems like it's like, that crazy, that unicorn deal. You know what I mean? That would be great, but it didn't happen for whatever reason. And those are always scary too, because sometimes you put your energy into that because it's such a great deal. But, most of the time, my thing is my delivery, which is what I learned from Matt, is just how to talk with clients, how to get them the information as quick as possible, how to get the information from the plant or your manufacturer as quick as possible, make things happen. And then just, our business is, I just had a client right now, and he was like, oh, I want to order. And I was like, great. And then he was like, oh, I'm not ready. Da, 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 da. And I just literally sent him a message. I said, look, after Labor Day, everything happens super fast. You know what I mean? Because his reply to me was like, oh, when I'm ready, you'll get the business, which is great. I love to hear that. But the problem is with our businesses and with most people's businesses, you don't think about it to your side. I'm not just pushing a printer button, printing graphics out and just giving it to you. You know what I mean? Like, it has to literally be looked at. I have to make sure that whatever you put on there, I put my stamp of approval. This looks good. This is going to be great before I send it to the plant, because those guys are just going to be like, okay, he sent it. It must be good. Let's print. You know what I mean? Unless they see something absolutely wrong and then they can't do it because the size is off or something like that. You know what I mean? Then they can't do it. But aside from that, most printers or whatever, unless you tell them, they're like, oh, we printed it. So, having that, you have to make sure, like, going through to check all those balances and stuff like that for clients when they do stuff like that. So,
that's dope, dude. Let me ask you another question, dude. What inspires you, dude, and motivates you to get up in the morning and hustle the way you do? Don't say drinks at Cabo Cantina every Sunday, man. Please do not say that.
Somebody has to pay for those. So that person's using me. So yeah, I have to pay for my drinks. But that's not I think the thing is, this is just the excitement of where it could go. You know what I mean? The excitement of where it could go. You know what I mean? We're in a culture where, like, do I need to be a guy in a high-rise business? In a high-rise office sitting there? You don't have to. You know what I mean? If the business leads that way, sure, it will go that way. But when you get that entrepreneurial spirit in, you start to see, like, everything that either one you could do better, a little bit better in every little business. But for my own personal business, it's literally about, I want to see how far I can take it. Can I take it further than where my last boss took his? You know what I mean? Can I make it, bigger? You know what I mean? You look at, where are things that you can make the trade show stuff bigger than where it's just a boost business. You know? So it's just excitement and experience of making things bigger, making it better. You know what I mean? Within the box. You know what I mean? Within the box. So not too much making it so different that no one can see what that is, because if you have that, that's you lost. But for your own personal benefit, I just want to wake up in the morning and be like, oh my goodness, like, I'm making cosmetic trade show booths now. Like, who else can I make a trade show booth for?
Right.
What other companies are out there? You know what I mean? It's just, everything is just crazy. Like, I get up for that excitement of like, who will my next client be? Because it's just so different. It just
Every booth is different. Every company is different.
Every company is different. Bikes. I did one of my funniest things was it was a company that did cranes, birds, crane foundation, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's a trade show. You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? Like just, llama fur. You know what I mean? Like those are things. It's just like I love this business for that. That's just talk to somebody on the phone. You're like, what trade show do you go to?
It's crazy because you bring up a good point that I don't think I've ever thought about it, but everything that you have in your household has they're part of a trade. They're a part of a trade show.
Granite, paint.
Yeah, trade show.
There's people, and it seems like the most.
I really thought about it that way.
Yeah, from real plants to fake plants.
Yeah.
There's a trade show for fake plants. You know what I mean? Like materials. Like people are in a room looking at paint, light bulbs.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Fuses. You know what I mean? Like
everything.
Yeah. Some dude has to travel 40 cities selling light bulbs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds crazy.
I'm a light bulb hustler.
Yeah, faucets. Like I knew a girl that we used to. Her name was Patty, salsa dancer, and that's what she does. I met her, and she goes, yeah, she did everything with faucets and everything. She's like, I do 40 shows a year. It's like when I'm not at a show, I'm at a show. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
The show circuit.
Yeah, that's it.
It can make some money. It could be a little rough too.
It could be a little rough.
Yeah.
It could be a little rough. I mean, Chicago sounds nice, but maybe Boise, Idaho isn't. You know, yeah. You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean. It's that it's great when you're going to New York and everywhere else, but when you got to go to those little towns, it's not so fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So
dude, what's your goal for the next 5 years, dude, with the company? Where do you want to take this company? I know you've thought about it yourself as far as where you want to take it. I know you said you want to grow it.
Right. I want to add, I would say my minimum and maximum is I want to add probably, I'm going to try to do in the next 2 years is add 3 people, maybe 4. Just add 3 people, maybe 4. Because again, like I have people that I hire to do specific things, like my graphic artists and things like that. I have people that I do that stuff too because I had to get smart about stuff like that because you can't do everything yourself. Right. So to have somebody constantly available on payroll to be able to do that, that's where the growing really starts to happen because then I can really concentrate on that and then add one more salesperson. So once I add one more salesperson, that's going to be really the beauty of it all. Because then I can concentrate on other things and growing the business. That's when you really kick it in the high gear, So that's pretty much my goal, because you do get in this mind mentality when it's working sometimes, and that's also a bad mentality to be, because you can also get stuck on not making any money. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean?
True.
So it's just like if you want to be bigger, you need bigger as I'm paying this guy to work for me. I'm paying this guy, you know what I mean? Those are the things that, I'm paying this girl to go sell. I'm paying this whatever, you know what I mean? Like those are the things that you want to do. So, you want employees and things like that. And it doesn't mean you have to have a lot or things like that because obviously that brings its own issues and stuff like that with it. But, use the culture wherever. If you don't need 3, get 2. You know what I mean? But you won't be able to sustain and do a lot of things by yourself. You are going to need to hire somebody at some point to do some stuff for you. And that's what I had to learn. So I think that's for every entrepreneur to take away is that when you start your own business, that in your own business, you will have to hire somebody to help you with your own business. And it's not just the person who either you order your product to make your product from, your manufacturers and stuff like that. It's the people who support you, your website guy, your graphics guy, your marketing person, either PR. Those people are instrumental to you. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure you keep those things in your forefront. Like eventually, if I can't have it now, eventually I'm going to have to do a full-fledged sit down and do it, because it's going to help you. Google AdWords, stuff like that. Eventually, I'm going to have to donate $3,000 of my money to Google AdWords and let it fly. You know what I mean? And usually with stuff like that, usually one deal will cover it. You know what I mean? Just if you get it and it starts to work itself. So, those are the things you have to remember. You know what I mean? And it's hard, when you're putting the deals together and the deals aren't coming together or how it works, but you have to jump. You have to jump and make those decisions and make those big decisions when you don't want to, and make the big decisions when you can. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I take away is just, hire smart for the things that you don't know how to do and the things that you don't want to do, because it will help the business. Because you will get caught up in something. I've been there, experienced it. Overall, you will get caught and you're like, and you'll be tired. Sometimes it's just being tired. Like,
right. Because you're doing everything. You're
doing everything. You're tired. So it's just, that's the first thing I would say. One, start your own business. The only thing you need is clients. If you don't have clients, you really don't have anything. You don't need an office. You don't need anything.
You can work from home. You can work from home.
Now they have all these WeWorks and everything. If you need to be in an office around people, you can buy a membership and go into an office every day, which is understandable. Sometimes you need that hustle and flow of the people working around you, which is always good. I use that all the time and still do.
And sometimes you need the discipline. You need a discipline of being able to go into an office. Because sometimes some people are not disciplined to work from home and hustle at home. They need that office environment. So, But
that's exactly it. It gives you that hustle and bustle, that grind. You hear that grind of other people working. So, and sometimes it's just the help of just that bullshit coffee talk. You know what I mean? Like, put you kind of back in line of wherever it is. So clients is one, and then two, being able to hire or delegate tasks and information that you either don't know how to do or don't want to do.
Right.
Both of those things, those will help you tremendously and running your own business overall, and will help you grow. Because if you more and more business that you get from those doing those things, you will need someone else. You're like, oh man, I'm too busy. I need to get a guy, even if it's just an assistant. To just say, you'll need somebody. And I've done that more than too many times. I have people literally on speed dial that I can call and be like, hey, I need you to help me with this, and they'll be like, all right, let's go, do it. And so you need that, and now you can hire assistants online. They may be in India.
Imagine, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it's where we are. They may be in India or whatever, and some are really expensive and some are really cheap, but you can do it. You know what I mean? You can hire a guy from India or whatever.
Run your phone system.
For your
service, everything.
For your website.
Right, it's true.
I had a buddy of mine. He showed me. He's like, look, if you needed anything, let me show you this thing. And he was like, oh yeah, these guys will do it. You know what I mean? They give you a price range of, if you're just that keen of saying, oh, I want to talk to somebody in the U.S., then sure. If that's your comfortability, do it. But they gives you a list of everybody that will do and what they charge and what a sample of their work is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the world we live in now.
I got my logo done for this podcast from some guy in Czech, some website. He made a badass. He made exactly what I wanted done for my logo. He created it, and
while you were asleep.
While I was asleep, yeah. While I was asleep, he created it, emailed it right when I woke up. I was like, "Holy shit! Oh, it's badass!"
Yeah. And so that's what we have to use. Those are the things we have to remember we have, or if you don't have, try to find what those things are. There's something you know how to do. Google it and find out where it is. Ask a friend. You know what I mean? People are never too shy to talk about what they do nowadays, I feel like. Right. So, ask a friend who knows a friend about anything, and then that will help you. Like, now I have this person to do this. Now I have this person to do this. You know what I mean? It's going to cost you. The only thing it's really going to cost you is money, and that's pretty much the lower end of the investment. Time is really the factor that you don't want to lose. You don't want to waste time trying to do it yourself when you know you don't know how to do it. So,
I've done that a few times.
Oh yeah, and you will, and because we're in that culture where they're like, oh, you can make your website on that. Click on that.
I made my own website.
Yeah,
I didn't want to pay anybody. I made my own website.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
it's
crazy.
Like, I was
As
like, I
much
made
as
my
you
own.
did, I'm sure you were like, man, I wish I could have just gave this.
Right. But at the same time, you almost want that control to be able to add your own creative twist, because visually you know what you want to do. It's interesting, but you should give that to somebody that's better than you to actually.
Way better than you, because they'll do it faster.
They'll do it faster.
Even if you thought about the hours you've put into it,
exactly, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. And you paid yourself the lower end. If you said, okay, this guy's going to charge me $60 an hour, and it takes him 5 hours, that's $300.
And it took you 5 days.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Just to learn the program.
Just to learn the program and to get the pictures together.
Exactly.
And literally, it's like, move. Just move. Move out of it. Move.
And another 5 weeks to get the final product.
Get it all done for you only to push one button to mess it all up and have to call them anyway and them to fix it in an hour. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's the lesson, you know, all entrepreneurs will learn at some point, no matter what, and you should be glad for that lesson. Don't look down on yourself for it. Be happy that you're at that point where you're making that mistake. You know what I mean? That's a good place to be. Right. That you're making moves to make that mistake. Right. You know what I mean? And the mistake is stuck at the beginning, but you'll learn from it. You know what I mean? From it somehow, someway. You'll learn one part of the lesson, not the whole lesson. Some part of it you'll learn.
Right. You know what's funny is when I first met you, I had no idea what you did for a living. Right. But the way you carried yourself, the way you talk to people, and you know, it's really, really strange. But I looked at you, and in my mind, I said, this motherfucker sells something, because he's just like me. He's just like me. He sells something. I don't know what he sells, but he sells something. That was my first impression. I had no idea what you did.
I feel like giving him 16 digits off my credit card right now. I don't know why.
Right, yeah. I knew. And it's funny because we both met within the salsa scene.
Yeah.
And within that salsa scene, the conversations I have with certain people, and with just the way they carry themselves. There's a few people that I've met, you, including you, where I'm looking at you and I'm like, okay, he's in my business. He's in sales. I don't know what he sells, but I got respect. I got much love because he's hustling. He's hustling himself right now. He's in sales. That person's in sales. She's in sales.
You don't. You know what I mean? When you think you're turning it off, you don't. You know what I mean? When you don't. You think you're turning it off, and you don't. It's just the natural ability. And
it can't turn it off. There's no way.
And I had it already, and I didn't realize it. I wish I really did, have it and realize it maybe later on. But maybe good I didn't. Maybe it was good that I met Matt when I did to do it now. You know what I mean? But it's just like you said. It's like you meet somebody like that, you just know, like, overall. So it's like when you say that to me, then I see myself and I'm like, I know I can even catch myself when I'm talking to clients in a way, and then in my mind I'm like, it's going good. Like, it's scary when you're in it. You're like, this is going good. This is going really good. You know, it's scary how that is. But overall, but it's like I always try to keep myself in that place of when Matt taught me about when you're selling and providing something, it's like you're not selling the person on the thing. Like I'm selling you the thing you need to make more money. I'm selling you the thing that you need to wear to go to this place, or, you know, what you need to eat or whatever. So it just, when you put that in that context and that perspective, you're going to sell a lot more overall, because you're selling something that the person provides. Somebody walks into a shoe store, they need shoes. Now, how you present that, fact of the matter is it, you know, people are lucky lose, but, you know, everyone's a lucky lose. Everyone's been a lucky lose. Sometimes you just walk into a store and you don't want shit at all. You know,
but sometimes you walk into a store wanting to buy them pair of shoes.
Right.
But the salesperson just did a weak job.
Yeah. The customer service wasn't there. You weren't feeling it. And that can easily be turned, and you could almost pay $10 more for something somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you would.
You would.
And it's interesting because I'm sure you probably feel the same way. But when you go to a store and you get some girl that comes up to you, or some guy that comes up to you,
right,
and he sells you really, really good on a product,
right,
I almost want to buy out of respect. I'm like, damn, okay, Yeah, that was good. That was a good pitch. I like.
Yeah, you're like this.
I like that. Respect.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I can be. I definitely can be. As I heard, the guy from Wolf of Wall Street. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name right now, which sucks. He has a great. His book is great. But he says himself. He says, "I'm an easy sell." Look, I'm an easy sell. He's like, if you have everything there, and I'll buy from you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And for me, sometimes too, it's just like, and depending on where it is, but I'm an easy sell. I'm like, yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. Good. You know
What gets you the most, dude? What is it? Is it a good salesperson that really gets you? Is it what is it? If you walk into a store, what do you respect?
You know what my thing is? I will tell you this. This is my thing that I hate, and it's the thing.
Yeah. What do you hate and what do you love? There you go.
The exact reason why I didn't want to be in sales. Don't oversell me. Don't oversell me. That's the thing I never want to get into with a product.
The cheesy, aggressive, abrasive car sales person that we all know of.
It could be that. It could be like, oh my God, you will look amazing. Oh,
that's so fucking annoying.
No, I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't oversell me on it. Just how much is it?
No.
I like it. Do I need to try it on?
Right.
Whatever. Does it do this? Don't try to give me the extras of, because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson buys it. You know what I mean? Just tell me what the stuff that it does. If it does that, then I'm good. Don't try to oversell. You know what I mean? Because people hate when they're oversell because, we've all got home and they say that buyer's remorse situation. Right. You have that. You never want a client to have a buyer's remorse situation because in most part, they'll never buy from you again. You know what I mean? They'll never buy from you again because they'll have that stigmatism of when they bought from you the first time. And it could be literally their fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be their fault. Most likely it is always your fault anyway in some type of situation because you maybe continued to listen to whatever he was feeding you. You know what I mean? But overall, that's the thing that I hate. And overall, it's like, don't try to oversell me.
Just
give me the thing. Yeah, give me the thing, and don't make it. I know in certain places you can make the price doable, but don't try to make the price seem like it's not movable. All prices are movable in some sense, and if the price is not movable, then that's when you give me some service. Not the overselling part. That's when the service comes in.
Right.
You know what? Tell me this. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. It's $75, but I will tell you this. Instead of making me come back and I have to buy that thing that I need that goes with it, tell me now.
Right,
you also need that. You know what I mean? Now you're helping me. You know what I mean? If you can't change the price, be helpful. You know what I mean? So those are the things that I like. I like a salesperson who, one, they tell me straight what it is, and then also if there's something that needs to go with it, be helpful with it. Because if you can't change the price, because everybody wants a lower price, there's nobody who doesn't. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is.
I think with me, what annoys me the most is when you walk into a store and you want to buy something, and you get a salesperson. This could be a retail clothing store, maybe the mall. You get a person that'll come up to you, usually a kid or a girl guy, and they'll give you the most non-genuine opening. How are you doing today? Right. How are you doing today? And it's so fake. Yeah. And it's not real. It's that to me is the most annoying thing. It's like, you're trying to sell me and you're not being genuine. And it's just like, there's been so many times I go into a store and you'll have a girl come up, hey guys, how's it going? We have sales over here on this rack. We have so genuine, so nice. They get me with that. Or I love that when you're genuine and it feels like you're genuine and it's not scripted and you're not trying to be fake. That's what
I do like when someone says, if they ask me if I'm looking for something particular.
Yes.
But they give me their name. Hey, I'm Mike. If you need that's great. Because then I'm always like, Mike, get over here.
Exactly. And they always start with, hey, we have 50% off on this rack. We have some specials there on that rack. My name is Mike. I'll be over here in the back. So let me know if you have any questions. Right. I love when they start that because I go straight to the rack. I'm like, okay, I can't find it. Yo, Mike, do you have this on extra large? It works
over there. Yeah.
It works all the time as opposed to, hey, how are you doing today?
Yeah. It helps. So those things are help because then, like I said, it's a connection. Like we were talking earlier, it's about you having a guy or a girl That you know, like at that point in time, Mike is your guy, Laura's your girl, whatever. You know what I mean? That's it. That's when you have it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here, I can just yell his name out, he comes running and whatever, and we get it done. You know what I mean? Life is complete. You know.
You know what I always do as well, which is hilarious, is when I go to a store and you have Girl Scout cookies, the Girl Scouts selling you Girl Scout cookies.
Right.
I go up and I just look at a couple of them and I'll say, "Who has the best pitch? Sell me on some cookies." And then one of the girls will say, "Me, I've been practicing, Mom. Can I tell him?" I go, "Are you okay? Tell me, sell me."
Tell me.
And then I'll always buy cookies, always.
Always.
But the thing is, I'll buy one box or maybe I'll buy 4 boxes if they're really, really good.
Right. Exactly.
If they got mad hustle,
right.
Like there was this girl in Long Beach back when Fresh and Easy was still open. This girl came up to me, and then she walked right up to me as I was walking in. She was like, "Hey, mister." I was like, "Yes." She's like, "You look really hungry. I think you need some cookies. How many boxes do you want?" I looked at her. I was like, "Oh."
She knew you weren't a one-box guy.
Yeah, but her delivery.
Yeah.
I looked at her and I looked at her mom. I said, "This is a future salesperson right here." I came out and I bought 9 boxes.
Yeah. She's like, this is not one box situation over here. No. How many do you
How many? I was impressed. She was
what?
Yeah, she was 9 or 10.
I need to go tell my mama to get the van. What do
That was a sales hustler right there, man.
You're like, you don't know my life. Give me 4 boxes.
4 boxes.
4 boxes.
She'll probably say, "Do you need some milk with that?"
Exactly. You know I need some milk with that. Come on now. Stop playing.
Oh my God, brother.
That's too funny.
Well, dude. So what's next for you as far as projects or websites? Where can people find you?
Directtoshow.com.
Okay.
That's my main website.
Cool.
And then Direct to Show, Facebook, Instagram as well. They can find me there. Those are my main hustle 3s that people will see, because visually, that's always best for my clients, because people see what they can, buy what they can see. So in this world, what we've been talking about the whole time of where we are as far as a culture of how fast people buy. Especially on my Facebook and my Instagram page, because I try to fill those with the actual photos and pics from the client shows, which are usually pretty hard to get overall. But those are always the biggest thing to say, because that more than anything shows you what it looks like. Anybody can make a computer rendering look awesome, right. You know what I mean? But when you see it, and if someone's in the booth, someone's standing there, no matter what, people are like, "Yeah, that's the thing. That I want to look like that guy, just like that." That's it. So nice. Instagram, Facebook have been my friends, and they've been great for me overall for finding and getting clients, and then as well as just marketing and promotion wise. So directtoshow.com with the 2 DIRECT, the number 2 show SHOW.com, and so forth with Facebook as well as Instagram.
Awesome, brother. Well, dude, you have an amazing story. Such an inspiration to hear how you fucking got started with your business. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of listeners that are going to hear this and going to be like, "Wow." It was really inspiring from how you got started to where you're at now, man. So kudos, brother. Respect. Thank you for being on the show again, brother.